Some say a car is just a machine, a collection of nuts, bolts and plastic to get you from A to B. They're wrong. A car is so much more than the sum of its parts. It's a vessel for dreams, a silent companion on the journey of life, and a witness to our most unforgettable moments. A car is a memory box on wheels, the backdrop to our lives. It's there for the everyday commutes and the once-in-a-lifetime adventures, quietly collecting stories with every mile. Think about it: your first date, the drive home with your newborn, that wild road trip with friends. Chances are a car was there, silently witnessing it all. It's the setting for laughter, tears and everything in between. For millions, that car wore the Chevrolet bow tie. That simple emblem became a symbol of possibility, adventure and belonging. Chevrolet is woven into the fabric of American life: the pickup in Texas, the Corvette in Miami, the family sedan in Ohio. From coast to coast, Chevy has been there for the big moments and the small ones too. For generations, Chevy has been the people's car, powerful, beautiful, and sometimes astonishingly affordable. It's a brand that's been passed down, cherished, and trusted by families across decades. They put the dream of personal freedom in the driveways of ordinary people. Owning a Chevy meant more than just having a car. It meant having a ticket to independence, to possibility, to the open road. But the best stories aren't just about victories, they're about struggle, failure, and redemption. The road isn't always smooth, and neither is the journey of a legendary brand. Chevrolet's story is full of dark corners, bitter rivalries, catastrophic failures, and baffling decisions. There were moments when everything seemed lost, when the future looked uncertain. Behind the chrome and roaring V8S lies a tale of incredible highs and devastating lows. Every dent and scratch tells a story of risk, ambition, and resilience. It's a human story: pride, ego, and flashes of genius. So buckle up. This isn't just about cars. It's about the people who built them, drove them, and believed in them. We're not here for the glossy brochure version. We're here for the real story, the one that's messy, complicated, and deeply human. We're peeling back the paint to look at the rust underneath. We want to see what's been hidden, what's endured, and what's been overcome. We'll explore the untold stories that shaped this automotive giant, the secrets, the innovations, and the missteps that made Chevy what it is today. The moments they'd rather forget, the lessons learned the hard way, and the scars that still linger. Because it's in those spectacular faceplants that you find a company's true character. It's about getting back up, learning, and pushing forward. This is a story of survival, redemption, and the relentless pursuit of greatness. It's about never giving up, no matter how tough the road gets. And it is, I promise you, absolutely brilliant. Let's get started. The Chevrolet story begins not just with a car, but with a clash of ambition, pride, and vision. It all started with a dramatic falling out that would shape the future of American automobiles. Two men, Billy Durant, the bold and relentless founder of General Motors, and Louis Chevrolet, a Swiss-born racing driver and gifted engineer whose name would soon become legendary. After being ousted from his own company, Durant saw Louis' fame as his ticket back to the top. In 1911, the Chevrolet Motor Company was born, fueled by hope, rivalry, and a desire for redemption. Durant's plan was simple: use Louis' reputation to build a car so successful it would help him reclaim GM. Louis, meanwhile, dreamed of building a high-quality, powerful car, the Classic 6, something to be proud of. But Durant wanted affordable cars for the masses, determined to rival Ford's Model T and dominate the market. The clash was inevitable. Durant pushed for cheap, simple cars that anyone could buy. Louis demanded quality and performance, refusing to compromise his standards. Arguments exploded in boardrooms and workshops. Louis refused to see his name on a budget runabout, feeling betrayed by the direction of the company. The breaking point came over a heated design dispute, as creative visions collided and tempers flared. In a fit of rage, Louis sold his shares and walked away, leaving behind not just a company but a fortune and his legacy. Durant got what he wanted: a famous name for his affordable cars, and a brand that would soon sweep the nation. He succeeded, took back GM, and folded Chevrolet into his growing automotive empire, changing the industry forever. Meanwhile, Louis Chevrolet faded into obscurity, a tragic footnote in the company's history, his dreams left behind. The company would never be the same, forever marked by the ambitions and heartbreak of its two founders. With Durant in charge, Chevrolet set out to beat Ford, and for a while they did. The 1950s and 60s were the golden age: Bel Air, Impala, Corvette. These cars were rolling sculptures dripping with chrome and optimism. The small block V8 was a masterpiece, light, powerful, and beloved by hot rodders. Chevy was the heartbeat of America, their cars icons of pop culture, but even kings stumbled, complacency crept in. Corners were cut, and rust became Chevy's nemesis. Beautiful cars dissolved in snow and salt, fenders bubbled, floors rusted through. It became a grim joke you could hear a Chevy rusting on a quiet night. This wasn't just a flaw, it was a betrayal of trust. The dream they sold was turning to dust. The golden age was losing its shine. Trouble was brewing. Enter the Chevrolet Corvair, one of the most controversial cars ever built. A machine that would become a symbol of both innovation and infamy in the American auto industry. Launched in 1960, the Corvair was revolutionary for its time, featuring a rear-mounted, air-cooled engine and fully independent suspension. A radical departure from Detroit's usual playbook. It quickly won awards and praise for its daring engineering and sleek, European-inspired style, standing out in a sea of look-alike sedans. For a brief shining moment, Chevy had a genuine hit on its hands, drawing crowds to showrooms and turning heads on the street, but beneath the surface, the Corvair hid a fatal flaw. Its early suspension design made it dangerously unstable in hard turns, especially for drivers unprepared for its quirks. Cost-cutting meant Chevy skipped a front anti-roll bar, and the company's own tire pressure recommendations only made the handling more unpredictable, compounding the risk. In the wrong hands or under the wrong conditions, the Corvair could become a death trap, its reputation for danger spreading quickly. Ralph Nader's groundbreaking book, Unsafe at Any Speed, exposed the Corvair's dangers to the world, sparking public outrage and leading to high-profile congressional hearings on auto safety. GM's response? Instead of addressing the issues, they tried to discredit Nader, hiring private investigators and fueling a scandal that only made things worse for the company. The Corvair's reputation was destroyed, even after later models fixed the problem. The name became toxic, a cautionary tale in automotive history. Ultimately, the Corvair was killed by a mix of flawed design, corporate arrogance, and a public that had lost all trust. It's a lesson for the ages: innovation means nothing if you ignore safety, and public trust is hard to win back once it's lost. The fallout from the Corvair debacle would haunt Chevy for years, casting a long shadow over the brand's future. Sometimes being bold and different comes at a steep price, one that can last for generations. And the world never forgot the lessons of the Corvair, a car that remains both brilliant and utterly misunderstood. If you thought the Corvair was bad, meet the Chevrolet Vega. Chevy needed a new small car fast. Enter the Vega in 1970. It looked great, won awards, and promised innovation with its aluminum engine. But the engine overheated, warped, and failed often spectacularly. Rust proofing was almost non-existent. Vegas rusted on the dealer lot. Fenders rotted, firewalls rusted through, and recalls piled up. The Vega became a symbol of everything wrong with 1970s American cars. It was a disaster for owners and Chevy's reputation. The dream of a world-beating small car turned into a nightmare. The Vega didn't just fail, it damaged trust for a generation. Innovation without reliability is a recipe for disaster. The lessons were harsh but necessary. Chevy's small car reputation would take decades to recover. Sometimes the future arrives broken, and customers never forget. The 1970s brought a perfect storm: emissions rules, oil crisis, and a desperate need for fuel efficiency. Chevy, famous for big V8s, was in trouble. The malaise era began. Cars lost power, style, and excitement. The Corvette's mighty V8 was reduced to a pathetic 165 horsepower. Forgettable models like the Chevette and Citation arrived slow, unreliable, and uninspiring. Quality control hit rock bottom. Fake wood grain, peeling trim, and endless recalls became the norm. The passion was gone. Chevy was churning out automotive sleeping pills. The heartbeat of America was faint. They'd lost their way, chasing regulations and forgetting what made people love cars. It was a motivational low point, but the story wasn't over. Rock bottom can be a powerful motivator. Fast forward to the 21st century, Chevy had survived bankruptcy and was building good cars again. But a ghost from the past emerged: the ignition switch scandal. A cheap, faulty part in millions of cars could shut off the engine and disable airbags, sometimes with fatal results. GM knew about the defect for years but did nothing, choosing to save $1 per car. The truth exploded in 2014. Millions of cars recalled, hundreds of accidents, over 120 deaths. The public was outraged. This wasn't a mistake, it was a calculated betrayal of trust. Massive fines, congressional hearings, and a PR nightmare followed. Even in the modern era, old habits die hard. The stain on the Chevy bow tie was deep. Every great story needs a comeback, and Chevys had more than one. After the malaise era, they fought back. Fuel injection brought power and efficiency. The Aroc Z Camaro and Corvette ZR1 proved Chevy could compete with the world's best. They rediscovered their identity, building cars people could love again. The second comeback came after bankruptcy and scandal. Humbled, Chevy poured money into quality, technology, and design. They built cars that could stand with the best from Japan and Germany. The Corvette C8 is now a genuine supercar at a fraction of the price. Their trucks and SUVs are more capable than ever. Chevy is leading in electric vehicles with the Bolt and new models. They face their failures and use them as fuel for a renaissance. It's a lesson in resilience. You can always turn things around. The heartbeat of America is beating strong again. Mistakes became motivation. The comeback is real, and the story isn't over. So what do we make of all this? Triumphs, tragedies, rust, and redemption. Chevrolet's story is messy, complicated, and deeply human. They've given us icons and disasters. The dark chapters aren't just footnotes, they're crucial lessons. Success is fragile, arrogance is the enemy. The scars from these battles define Chevy today. A flawless history is boring. It's the struggle that makes a story compelling, and that lesson applies to us all. We all have our Vega moments, but they can be the catalyst for change. Chevy's story is about resilience and the pursuit of better. The heartbeat of America sometimes falters, but it always finds its rhythm again. What's your Chevy story? Share it in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more automotive tales.